Yeah. Lord Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles and Doug Peterson are basically doubling down on Alshon Jeffrey for good reason. Alshon Jeffrey, he don't got the flashy numbers and the flashy statistics, but I believe Alshon Jeffrey has the best hands in the NFC East. He has better hands than Cooper. He has better hands than McLaurin, whatever these young cats, Slayton, whatever. Alshon Jeffrey got the best hands in the division. Alshon Jeffrey was an intricate part of the Super Bowl run. You know what I mean? Alshon Jeffrey was the best wide receiver on the field for us during the Super Bowl run. Carson Wentz uses Alshon Jeffrey not the way I would like him to use him, me personally, because Carson Wentz isn't that risk taker. He doesn't really take full advantage of Alshon Jeffrey's catch radius like how bums like Jay Cutler did. Just throw it up and let Alshon go get it. Carson Wentz has a different perspective of how to throw the ball, and he likes to mitigate risk. But Alshon Jeffrey has made some tough catches for the organization. So I agree with the Philadelphia Eagles doubling down on Alshon and letting it be known that Alshon is going to be here to stay. I know they probably tried to get rid of him, but financially it didn't fit our scheme and how we were moving forward. So I agree with Doug. And Alshon Jeffrey, man, we're not in the mindset to give up on a guy like Alshon Jeffrey, especially when Arcega-Whiteside didn't pan out. Had Arcega-Whiteside panned out a little more, probably be easier to let go of Alshon and just eat the bread. But I just want to let some stuff sink in for y'all real quick. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's a reason why I didn't want. It's a reason. Well, I was high on Jalen Reagor, but I didn't want him at the position he was at because I know the type of damage Carson Wentz does with big body wide receivers. Listen, Carson Wentz is a red zone guru, which is why I've been saying if they can work something out with Alshon Jeffrey, it'll be in their best interest to do so. I feel like that the Philadelphia Eagles are very smart for keeping Alshon Jeffrey on the roster. Alshon Jeffrey is a red zone security blanket, and Carson Wentz is a red zone maestro. Make no mistake about this. Carson Wentz knows what he's doing. There's a lot of quarterbacks who get a lot of praise for having their running back carry the bulk of the weight. You know what I mean? The running back carries the bulk of the weight, 75 yards, and that quarterback throws for 20 yards, and they get a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of guys who get game-winning drives off the backs of other players, but the game-winning drive go into the column for that quarterback. You know what I'm saying? This Dak Prescott and Carson Wentz debate don't need to even be explained any further if you ask me, man. Y'all see the number of drops that the Philadelphia Eagles had last year. Y'all saw what that boy had to work with in Carson Wentz. And you see he still was able to get his team to be able to fight for a Lombardi. You see what I'm saying? In order to be able to talk about championships, you got to be in the playoffs. There's no way around it. There's no way you can mimic it. You can't talk about championships not being in the playoffs. And shout out to Fisk Vegas, man. I just caught winning the Fisk Vegas video. Very interesting. Because I said something and I wasn't quite sure. But Fisk confirmed it. You know what I'm saying? He confirmed it. I said that, the Jacksonville Jaguars might have been more successful than the Dallas Cowboys in the last 20 years. Turns out the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Dallas Cowboys are equals. You know what? The Jacksonville Jaguars have been a better franchise than the Dallas Cowboys in the last 20 years. The Jacksonville Jaguars been to an AFC championship game. Both teams won 7 playoff games in the last 20-something years. Since the Jaguars been in existence, 7 playoff wins. Cowboys got 7. But the Jags been to an AFC championship game. Cowboys ain't never sniffed nothing like that. And I say that to say this. If Carson Wentz had the weapons that a lot of these guys had in the league, a lot of these guys, it would just be too easy to debate at this point. But back to Doug Peterson and Alshon Jeffrey. Doug has doubled down on Alshon, and it makes all the sense in the world. What will you do without Alshon Jeffrey? What will you do without him? What would you do without, his just I want to play football attitude? A lot of young dudes need to be around Alshon. A lot of young dudes need to be around Deshaun. You know what I'm saying? Alshon Jeffrey earned the right to play out that contract that we signed him to because he helped bring that bowl to the city. And he's wildly productive when he's on the field with Carson Wentz. So I'm not opposed to that. You know what I mean? And Doug Peterson also had some more things to talk about, and yesterday's addressal to the media. You know what I'm saying? He said that he's going to bring in Jalen Reagor slow. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. He's a first round pick. Treat him like one. Give him a workload. Alshon ain't going to be there week 1. Give Jalen the workload. Open up the playbook for him. Let him know that you counting on him. Put that pressure on him. Tennessee did it with A.J. Brown. You know what I'm saying? Put that pressure on your young wide receivers, man. McLaurin know he the man. He know the future is. He know. Slayton know. Put that pressure on him, man. Let him know, listen, we counting on you. We don't want you to come out here and Arcega-Whiteside the place up. I disagree with that, man. You got to treat him like an adult from the beginning. Bring him on slow for what? Bring him on slow for what? If he can run the routes and he can understand the playbook and he knows where he's supposed to be, treat him like an adult. It's the big boy leagues now, man. We out here trying to win. You know what I mean? And of course, he addressed the Brandon Brooks issue, man, with the, man, I don't even want to talk about that anymore. You know what I mean? He addressed enough. You know what I mean? They talked about how they're going to deal with these. He also talked about how they're going to deal with the practices due to COVID. I think they're leaning towards splitting some of the practices up like an A team, B team kind of situation. And I think that's a good idea, man. You know what I mean? You want to keep dudes as safe as possible, man, going into this season. You know what I'm saying? Do we need to pick up another offensive lineman? Absolutely. Reports have also come out of Jason Peters saying that, at this part of his career, he's down for playing a little guard. He's down for playing a little guard. Now, I don't know in the offensive lineman world, is that a downgrade from a tackle position? I don't know. But the guard position and the tackle, the whole offensive line is just important. And I'm telling you, man, a lot of people don't like the fact that I say bring Jason Peters back. Oh, Jason Peters is a left tackle. Like I, of all people, don't know that. You need depth. That's the point. You need depth now. You need offensive linemen. You need experienced offensive linemen who could potentially play 2 positions. You don't want to have a situation to where a guy only been around 5-6 years and only know how to play 1 position. You don't want to have that. You need to have depth and you need to have security at the offensive line position because you got to keep your quarterback upright. You absolutely got to keep your quarterback upright. You know what I mean? I would like to see Doug Peterson addressing more of at this point is I need to see Doug Peterson addressing what he wants to see better from Carson Wentz because there's only really 2 knocks on Carson Wentz's game at this point. And one is the unfair knock. You talking about injury. He missed 8 games. Come on, dog. 8 games in 4 seasons. Played 2 full seasons. People say he never could finish a season. What? He played 2 full seasons in his career so far. 2 out of the 4. You know what I'm saying? Missed 8 games. Tore his knee. Deshaun Watson missed more time than him, man. Come on, bro. And he ain't even been in 4 years yet, I don't think. So I think it's unfair with the injury thing. The one true knock on Carson Wentz is the fumbles. We got to address that. We got to have quarterback coaches addressing that. You know what I mean? I think he fumbled 14 times, lost 7. It has to be corrected. It has to be corrected. Once you're out of your 4th, listen, Carson Wentz has been delivering grown man things. You know what I'm saying? Proving that he's worth the bread. I expect to see grown man play year 5 from Carson Wentz. Let me know what you think in the comments.